There we go.
Oh. Hit a net. All right.
There. Yeah, hopefully. There we go, right away, hopefully. Man, the old minnow tip, huh?
All right, so we're in Oak Harbor, Ohio. We're gonna make a quick run tonight. I got Captain Dave with me and his first mate back there, Lou. And we're gonna see if we can catch a fish this evening. Hey, Captain Dave, where are you taking us today?
Well, since I gotta be to work early in the morning, it's gonna be a short run. We're just gonna go out maybe a half mile outside of Wild Wings. So drop in here at Ellis Harbor and head on out right away.
All right, so we're gonna go out to Wild Wings. Not familiar with it. Right in Oak Harbor, Ohio. That's what it looks like. And I'm gonna show you the spots we go to. When we're catching fish, I'll show you the GPS coordinates so you can find the spots too. All right, let's see if we can make it happen.
Why Oak Harbor, Ohio? Watch this video, it is magical. All these blue dots are walleyes with transmitters in them. And it's starting off in April and it goes throughout the seasons. And you can see right now, it's summertime and these blue dots are scattered everywhere. And those little black dots on the screen, those are receivers picking up their movement. But we're getting close to December, and as December hits, all those blue dots migrate back to that Western Basin and exactly where we're fishing. That big blob in the Western Basin, 7-mile radius that they call the nursery of Lake Erie, it's where all these fish go back to spawn. How many fish are there? Well, the Ohio Department of Wildlife estimated back in 2023, there were 89 million fish. Another strong hatch. 7 out of the past 10 walleye hatches have been above average. What we're looking at here is some satellite images that day. You'll be able to see on the screen. The water looked like milk chocolate out there, so we wanted to look at the satellite images to see how far we had to push out to get some water clarity. So Oak Harbor is about 10 minutes outside of where we took off from. It's the closest spot to target that nursery area where all the fish are at. And we put in at Ellis Harbor, just a quick trip. I put the coordinates to the first spot. They're right below me, so you can see. But man, look at that water. Chocolate milk. Looks like my hat, some of the brown. I took this drone footage the day before. We were doing some scouting. I went out with Dave and Luann. And you can see in the top right of this image, they actually put up a whole bunch of cloud makers in Northwest Ohio for fishermen to just get an idea of the conditions and which way the wind's blowing. It's really helpful. So make sure you keep a lookout for those cloud makers. Those are power plants. They're not cloud makers, but just check out what it looks like out there. It's crazy. So we took a couple of people with us. Paul and Lisa helped us catch a few. Now what we're doing here is we're jigging, so we're taking these buck hair jigs right here and just bouncing them off the bottom. Now, I don't think I missed them that time. we had people who were tipping them with minnows. Paul and Lisa were putting minnows on this main hook here. And then Captain Dave and Lou were not using any. And to be honest, we didn't really tell a difference. We caught equal amount of fish on both sides of the boat. So, not something you necessarily have to do. But what I would say is that when you drop your jig down, it's going to go straight down below you, and depending on what the current and the conditions look like, it could stay below you or it could pull out. What we noticed is that if you could have it on about a 45-degree angle and bouncing it, that worked best. So you'd bounce, 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 you'd feel a weight on the end and fish on. Now that was the first keeper that we got in the boat, and Captain Dave wanted to show us his bleeding technique. I've never done that before. He swears by it, and you'll see on the back end of this video how much it actually cleaned up the fish. But what he did here, he took a bucket of water and he found that gill plate and just irritated the gills a little bit with a knife. He didn't cut them, he just rubbed them to irritate them, and then you put the head of the fish in the water, and that blood started circulating, and it cleaned the fish right up. So you don't have to like go crazy and cut off its head. Just irritate its gills a little bit with some scissors or a knife, and you'll be good to go.
You're just cutting at the gills.
All right, Captain Dave's on a fish. And if you notice, outside of Captain Dave, you can see that drift sock. We were dealing with about 3 footers out there, and we wanted to slow it down a little bit, so we threw out a drift sock to keep us on our drift, slow it down, and it gave time for these 3/4 ounce jigs to actually reach the bottom. We had some bigger ones on the boat, but we figured drift socks would do the trick for us. So we picked up 3 fish at spot 1, and then we decided we wanted to retry and start our drift again, right on that border of that dirty water to that clearer water. So we started a new drift, and this drift was game on from here. You could see the water clarity difference as we go from spot to spot to when we first started. It's night and day. So just keep that in mind when you're doing this, is the water clarity. Now you can see the coordinates changed, and we caught some more fish, and I'm gonna let Paul talk about that, one of the guys we were fishing with, and he was spot on. As soon as 7 p.m. hit, we were on him just like that. Now we started fishing around 6 o'clock, and once 7 hit, it was game on. Now he swears that's always the case, right when the sun's coming down, those walleye just turn on, and we started just pulling them in left and right. Now, a lot of them were smaller. Like I said, you're going to catch a lot of small walleye, but in a couple years, it's going to be game on throughout the lake.
There we go. Hey, Lisa, do you mind? I can help grab him the head. All right, we just got back fishing from Lake Erie with Captain Dave. Just a little evening trip. I'll show you what we caught.
Yeah, our sizes here were between 16 and
some
22
decent size.
inches.
The water was a little murky, as you'll see in the
small
video.
ones, but you got to be above
learned
that
a couple
15-inch
lessons while I was
size
out
limit.
there. First one is I need to get another GoPro battery. And then the second one is Dave's secret tip on how to bleed walleye.
And you can see as
and that's
Dave,
going to come into
show you how
handy
he
when
cleans the fish. That
cleaned
board,
these fish,
he already
which I'll show
cut,
you.
I think 6 of the fish, so this is the 7th
All right, so I'm going to show you how to
can see
clean a
that board
walleye.
is
It's
pretty
basically
clean
4
as he's doing
cuts. I'm going to cut right behind the gill, and I'm going to go right down the backbone. Feel that backbone and slide through. Come to the end, flip that over.
There is barely any blood in that thing. You take those ribs out, and you're good to go.
Skin it like that.
And cleaning walleye is
And then I'm going to
similar
cut
to
the rib cage out.
a standard fish. I'd say maybe the one thing to consider is he zips his fish right here.
I like to zip my fish. There's a fishy part in
I would
here.
definitely
It
do
just
that
takes any
for you.
bones out too. So cut it right down there, and you're going to get 2 fillets out of this. Excuse me. All right, there you go. Do the same thing on the other side. Right behind the gill. Peel the backbone. Come right down. Flip it over. Fish is cleaned. And you cut the ribs out. And you zip them. And that's all it is. About a minute of fish. So one thing we did do was we bled these out on the boat, so you will not see very much blood when you do clean these fish.
All right, so pretty successful trip for us. We had 8 keepers, and we caught a ton more. They were just under that 15-inch size limit. So we know next season it's going to be game on those fish. But if you have any comments, any pointers for us, if you see us screwing something up in this video or doing something wrong, we would love to hear from you. We're trying to get better at this fishing thing, so we want to hear from you. And then last thing, if you want some sweet hats, I just got these in. Let me know. I need to make a few more, but I'd love to send them to you guys so you can go fishing with some sweet gear. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.